No. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. The whole video. Maybe the ear, though. That was pretty sick. Hello. Thank you guys for coming. This is my channel. This is the Jimmy Eats Brain Show. We're talking about creepy stuff on the internet. I'm Jimmy. Today we're going to talk about a movie I saw a couple weeks ago in theaters called The Lighthouse that I really enjoyed. I've been seeing all the movies that were coming out in theaters, coming out for Halloween, and this was like my absolute favorite, hands down. There was really no competition. The Lighthouse stars Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe. This is Robert Eggers' follow-up film to The Witch, which was critically acclaimed. Also a really great film. I saw that as well, and I absolutely loved it. As two estranged lighthouse keepers who descend into madness, kind of playing off of each other, to put it very plainly. I am going to be splitting this video up into two separate parts. The first part is going to be kind of a recommendation and spoiler-free review for people who haven't seen the film, and recommending it to people who are maybe contemplating seeing it, and they don't know if they want to go and spend $15 to see this movie. Maybe I can help them out. And the second half is going to be spoilers. It is going to be my opinion after seeing the film. I'm kind of diving in depth, and that's going to be more for the people who have already seen the film. I am going to put a big spoiler warning halfway through, just so everybody knows and just so it's clear, so we don't accidentally spoil it for anybody who still wants to go and see it. I was super stoked to see this film. I saw the trailers for it, and I'd been, reading some stuff about it, and I was absolutely so excited to see it. The film is in black and white, and it is quite long, so for people who maybe don't like that type of thing, maybe don't really love art house films, this may not be your cup of tea. But people who do like maybe the typical A24 film, kind of more art house, kind of a little bit more hipster. Ugh. As much as I hate to say it, kind of fits it. Yeah, I think a lot of people who like kind of dread-based, or I like to call them descent into madness movies, where you kind of just get to watch this character really go into this horrifically realistic loss of character and self from the beginning. Yeah, I think a lot of people who like movies that are edited really well and shot really well, people who maybe have a background in editing, or just have a really sensitive, keen eye to those types of things and likes to pay attention to them and appreciate them in films, I think that they will absolutely love this movie. If you are one of those types of people, I 100% recommend you to go see this movie. A lot of the shots of water, of wind, they're really mesmerizing. They mixed with the black and white effects and the way that everything was shot, they really just encapsulate you, and they don't give your brain or your eyes a spot to wander to. You're really into them the entire way. Another thing I really enjoyed about this film that I think other people probably will like about it was the acting in this film was phenomenal. I mean, both William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson did competingly amazing jobs against each other. I mean, it's really hard to crown one of them as the powerhouse of the film because they both just played off of each other so well. And I think that if you are really either a fan of either of those two actors' previous performances, or if you really appreciate just a good, well-performed piece and a well-shot movie, I definitely would recommend seeing this. Some of the things that I think people might not like about it, like I said, it is quite long. The movie can drag at points. I want to say about the 2/3 point, you start to kind of get into the rhythm of how the movie's playing out, and you can almost predict how things are going to play out in the next couple of sequences. It doesn't stay like that for very long. As soon as that does start to happen, it does switch up, usually pretty quickly, but I did find myself noticing those things when I was watching it. I didn't really find it too much of a fault. Like I said, I could see past those things because of the artistic direction of the film and stuff, but if you don't put as much emphasis on the atmosphere and the tension and the set design, you might not be so okay with the pacing. For example, I often go to the movies with my friend and her friend, who is the absolute most fidgety person in the movie theater. Really can't take them to see a movie longer than 90 minutes. I would not take him to see this movie. That would be a mistake. That would be mean. So yeah, I wouldn't check it out if those things are something that might bother you. But other than that, I really thought the film was amazing. Now we are going to head into spoiler territory. So spoiler alert, if you have not seen the film or you are worried about it being spoiled because you want to see it in the future, please pause this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, go check out this movie, The Lighthouse. It's great. And come back and then finish watching this video, okay? Awesome. So, spoilers. Maybe I'm the only person that's gonna love this, but we got homo eroticacy and 3 jacking off scenes from Robert Pattinson. It's a done deal for me. It's a done deal. No, but seriously, yeah. There's a couple of scenes in this movie that are visually and mentally disturbing. And not for the basic reasons that most horror or scarier movies are. I actually believe that if this movie had been maybe geared more towards a PG-13 audience, I think this movie could have been PG-13. A lot of the fear and horror in this movie comes from dread and things that you don't necessarily see, or things that aren't innately gruesome. It's the extremities and the torture and the solidarity and the repetition that these things are done to that makes them so horrifying. Being in this being in a light tower, with one other person and having all of these tasks isn't as crazy when you just talk about it, but when you think about actually having to do all of those things and then share those responsibilities and then work them all out amongst 2 people, you really start to get into how this could really, cause psychosis. And it doesn't tackle this type of horror film from a gore perspective, from a shock value perspective, from a vulgar perspective. It really comes from a place of dread and eeriness and atmospheric horror. It's not like many movies that are coming out today. And I think that is another really awesome thing about this movie, is that there's no other movies coming out like this right now. A24 is doing their bigger budget art house movies that I really enjoy, but even to that extent, they're not making movies like this. This was very out there, and I loved every second of that. If those things are bothersome to you, I don't think you're gonna like this movie. I guess we're gonna talk about the scene. I think you know which scene. The scene where the mermaid? Yeah, that one. Yeah, and in her. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, that scene was pretty hardcore. Like I said, as far as horror movies and vulgar movies and R-rated movies go nowadays, that being one of the most horrifying scenes of the movie, it's really not that bad at all. The cinematography, like I said, the way that the shot was taken, the way that it was edited, it was horrifying. When you saw it, you were scared. And that's not very many. I don't think very many movies can say that, can put that little amount of actually graphic content into a film and make it so terrifying. And I think that's why this movie was so special to me, because I'd just been coming out of the October months watching these, bloody, gruesome, horrible films, and I go see this black and white film that half of it's gray and whites, and it shook me to my core. Yeah, it was crazy. So my rating for today's topic, The Lighthouse, produced by Robert Eggers. I think I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I liked it. It was really good. So I think that's gonna finish it up for today. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. I have some more content coming at the end of the week. If you have some questions you'd like me to ask at the end of the week in a Q&A, please put them down below. If you like this video, please let me know down below. If you saw this movie and you didn't think it was as good as me, or you thought it was really good, or you think I'm a flaming piece of turd for telling you to spend $15 on this movie, let me know down below. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for coming and watching this video with me. I appreciate it so much. Have a nice rest of your day.